Alright folks, Jonathan here. I want to start out with a couple things. First, this is the other 8-inch Ford rear end Mustang that I've got. Now, the guy that gave me this a long time ago said that it had a spool in it and he took it out. Now, the spool I've got, but it's kind of weird because, you know, the looks of this rear end on the outside, it looked nice and clean. The pins looked like they were new in the back side. And the hose didn't look terrible old, but here's what came out of it. I would have never believed. And you know, a lot of these springs are rusted, so they're not going to be too good. Adjusters, well, it ain't stuck. But anyway, I'm still ordering new stuff because it's just so bad a shape. Which I wasn't, you know, I didn't need the brake pads, I didn't need the wheel saunders, but you can see these pins look like brand new. So somebody put some brake hardware in it, but it definitely sat for a long time after that. So I was going to use the brake hardware on the front, but I've already ordered new stuff now. Okay folks, the other deal was that I want to talk about was the 3-deuce setup that you see sitting on here. You know, this is just two carburetors sitting there. I was going to make a plate and bend it over, try to, you know, mold it in, make it look like it's supposed to be there, like it's a 3-deuce setup. Now, I had a lot of people say, why don't you just do it right and don't fake it? Here's the issue with that. Well, first, this is a 239. There's not very many cubic inches. It's not a high compression engine. It's not going to handle a lot of fuel. Okay, so I could hook it progressive. Progressive means you run the center carburetor, and then as you get so far, the front and the back would kick in. You could set it up different ways. You could make this one go, that one kick in, this one kick in at full throttle, and all that good stuff. But I don't want to do that on this. And I'm going to tell you a few reasons why. Okay, first, again, it's 239 cubic inches. It's not a high horsepower engine. Probably 110 horsepower if I was guessing, and you know, definitely probably not any more than that. Now, I hear a lot of bad stuff about this particular Y block because this is a 1-year only engine, 1954, first year for overhead valve. I hear a lot of talk about, hey, you know, they don't oil good at the top. That's not a big deal. I tractor pulled for years, pulled antique tractors, I build antique tractors, I build engines for antique tractors. Getting oil pressure to the top is not an issue. That's no problem whatsoever. A lot of tractors, people don't realize it didn't have oil pressure to the top at all. They ran on oil vapor. And, you know, the old case tractors, it was vapor from the oil that just rose to the top, and that's what oil. And, you know, adding an oil line to the top to oil these things with, you know, some fittings just wouldn't be an issue. So I'm not worried a bit about that. Okay, this particular engine, I bought this engine, and not this transmission, but the engine, bell housing, clutch press plate, torque bearing, and a 3-speed that I don't have on it. It had a generator, you know, all the parts was on this engine, and we started it up and did a first start on it. A lot of you may remember it runs really well, sounds really great. Gave $150 for it. You know, one of them deals where I pulled it, you know, the guy says I pulled it out 20 years ago. I tried to start it back then, but I couldn't get it to run. And when I got it here, we figured out that he had the, let me see, I think he had it wired clockwise and it needed to be counterclockwise, and he had it wired as a Chevrolet, you know, 1357 on one side, 2468 on one side, and it, you know, that's not how Ford works. So we got that straightened out, we fired it up, it sounded really well. Don't think there's any issues with it. Okay, here's the problem that I foresee with this, or my understanding, and don't quote me on this, this is just what I've read. 239 has smaller ports on the intake. 272, 292, 312 intake will not fit on it. That's what I'm told. Don't quote me on it because I don't know it for sure. Never tried it. But they're saying the port size is smaller. So all them 3-deuce intakes, all them dual 4 intakes, them 6-deuce intakes, you know, all them oddball, even the single 4-barrel intakes, supposedly, that is on eBay and for sale all the time, will not fit on this engine. So, and I don't know that for sure, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of money just to be guessing at it. But anyway, my point is you know, there's nothing readily available. I don't want to do something that's going to dump a bunch of fuel in this engine. If it runs good, runs stock, great. This engine's going to be on its last leg, and the reason I say that is because right here, it's bored 30 over. The crank's been turned under 30 on the mains and under 30 on the rods. And I wouldn't even consider doing 30 thousandths undersize on a crankshaft for anything that I ever built. But it's already done, it's together. why not run it? So that's just the way it is. But that's why I'm going to fake the carburetors on. I like the look, and that's just what I want to do. We've got to get back on the master cylinder, and it's almost, well, it is noon, so that's what time I'm getting started. I just got back from doing some towing, and we are going to try to get something done today. I sure hope it works out, but we're going to see what we can do. All right. Okay, folks, here's what's going on. I do have a little light on the subject here. We're going to try to work late tonight. I can't seem to get any time during the daytime, so we're going to move into second shift, third shift here. So anyway, here's what we got. Both these panels in. I've got this cut out for the master cylinder. I don't know if you can see it or not. I hope this light don't kill our filming here, but anyway, I'm going to do a really complicated bend on this. I'm going to try to bend up. It's got to get wider at the front. It's going to be the same height coming down, but I'm going to do a straight up and down drop on it after it comes out. But I want the drop to be higher from one end to the other. So we're doing a bunch of compound bends here, but I'm going to try to make this to where it just sits in, has lips at the bottom, that way I can bolt it in. But this will be our first section that's going to be removable. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. All right, so here's my drawing of what I'm doing, and then I realized I've already messed up, so we're going to redraw it. We left a whole step out, so I went ahead and made these full 3 instead of going from 3 to 4. It's going to make it simpler. So we've got a 7 flat, 3 45 down, 3 straight up and down, and then a 1 out. And here's how simple it is, but here's how complicated it is looking at it from the top. And of course we're tapering in the center, so hopefully when we get this done it'll work out right. Okay folks, here's the center line, and here's all our bends. Now some of these bends I'll have to mark on the back side because they got to be bent the other way. So I'm going to get the bending. Now this should be cut right here. This is excess, but I'm going to leave it on for now. We can always cut it off after. This is our 1 inch flat, and this will just be left over. This should be 1.5 inches from here to here, and 0 up that way. But you know, both sides. But it's not a big deal. We'll leave it there until we get it done and see what it looks like. If we need to cut it off, we'll cut it off. You see a little rust on there, but nothing major. All right, let me get the bending on this thing and see if we can make it look like something. All right. Okay. Well, I done good until I messed up my measurement. This shouldn't have been 3. This should have been 2. I don't know why. I think I know why. I was going to go from 3 up this way to 2 this way. That's what it was. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer this back flat, and we'll remeasure because I don't want to do another piece. I think we can work with this one, and then all I will have to do is remeasure and rebend this one. Get it at 2 on this end. Leave it at 3 on this end. So I think I can do it. Let's see what it looks like. All right. Okay, folks, we fixed it. You see a little bit of a mess up there, but it's not a big issue. When I cut it, screw it in, it'll be just fine. No use wasting steel, you know. Just work with what you've got. So we've got a taper here, and you can see it on the other side. That's where my 2 inches go down to the floor. So what we're going to have to do is cut it into here and cut it off here so it'll fit all the way back up to it. Plus we've got our shifter hole to do, but I think that's going to work good, and I think I'll go ahead and see if I can get the hole done, get this trimmed out, and then we will see how she fits. Okay folks, we've got her in there. It's not exactly perfect. I got a little bit of a gap that I didn't really want, but the reason is I measured 2 inches straight up and down back here, and this is 2 inches long, and I didn't account for the angle of it, so it's probably, I should have probably went like 1 3/4 on this, maybe a little less, but it's not a problem because I don't have room to screw this down where it's at. It's not overlapped far enough. So let's just say we can just lay a piece in here flush with this, bend it around, and then weld it to this, and then we'll have something to screw to. Plus it won't, you know, our little mistake won't matter. So that's probably what we'll do. And either way, I'm going to fix it real quick, and then I'll just show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay folks, that's how far we've gotten on the floor. So basically we've gotten everything from here back done. and we got part of that done. Now, I don't know how close the other side is going to be to this side, but it's probably going to be different. I just ran this one up because you're sitting so far back, it's plenty of foot room, and this one here may go in and then up. The reason I've done this is because if you can see, there's a frame right there that kind of messes everything up. So, you know, to have room over there for the pedals and stuff, I will probably make that floor a little flatter and then up. So it's not going to be the exact same as this one. I don't know if that matters or not. I don't see why it should matter. I mean, it don't matter to me, but I mean, I don't think I've ever seen two sides of a floorboard. One was made different than the other. But I guess it'll be the first one for me anyway. Okay, we got the back side done, got it screwed on, bolted on. I'll add a few screws here, a couple screws in between to hold that down, and that's it for center from here up. And we'll just keep working with it the rest of the way up, but we've got to do that side first, and then we'll make that center hump to go all the way up to the firewall. And we'll get all these patches in back here, and we'll be about done with the floor. And I'll show you where I cut out. Okay, and here's where I cut out for the master cylinder. I don't know if you can see it in there, but I thought I was going to have a new one here today, but I guess it's going to be tomorrow before it gets here. But I will make a panel that's bigger that goes over it. I'll probably put 2 screws in it, and that way when you take one screw out, you can spin it and get to the master cylinder. I just wanted to make sure I had enough opening there to get to it, so that's good. And everything else good to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep working a little bit tonight. I mean, it's late now, but I'm going to keep on working. What I'm going to do is a bunch of welding, because fabricating I got to walk around, and it's kind of hard to get to see everything when you're working. So, with the light anyway. But so I'm just going to get some welding done, and I'll show you it before I quit, and we'll call it a day. All right. Okay, folks. It's late. I think we'll call it a night. But as you can see, we've got just about everything welded up, and we've got a little bit more, but most of it's done. You know, not perfect welds or nothing like that. We're just trying to get it welded. So tomorrow, floorboards up here, center hump, and hopefully closing in everything back here. And we can knock that out tomorrow. I think we're doing really good. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'm hoping by Friday to be back on finishing all this body, all the sheet metal work on the body, and about ready by over the weekend to be able to pull this body back off. And once it's back off, we're going to sit it on stands and start doing the actual body work. Sometime between now and then I want to do the windshield posts and try to get them finished up. But right now the most important thing is to get everything tied up on the body. That way I can get it separated from the frame. Noah can be working on the body, I can be working on the frame, getting everything finished welded. Brake lines, brakes, engine back out so we can get it cleaned up, get it painted, get everything done on it. So we may fab the headers up before we pull it down. We probably will at least get them tacked in and everything, and I can take them back off and then do the finished welding on them. And I'll make it look a little prettier than that, of course. But anyway, it is what it is, and we finally got most of this knocked out. So we'll just concentrate up toward the front left tomorrow. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Till next time, bye.